Okay, girls, so today we are going to start writing your introduction to your internal assessment. Remember, you must be completely quiet while we are doing this in class today. We are going to take a break from the IA for a little bit to get into our memory unit while I grade your intros and go over the changes that I want you to make. So don't think that we're just going to have silent class periods. Day after day after day, because we're not, I promise you. But today we are going to write that intro, and for today's assignment I do want you to turn in your typed introduction to me on the Schoology assignment that is posted for today, 1:15. So you will type your introduction exactly as I ask you to, and this will be the one time that I can read it and edit it before I see it again in your final paper. So I'm going to really go over these with a fine-tooth comb. Remember, if you're not understanding something or you don't think you got something quite right, that's okay. I will help you. These are only participation points. As long as you put everything in there that I need you to put in, and you try your best, you'll get the points for it. I will check for accuracy when I am editing them. So we're going to look at your cookbook today, and you'll have that with you to help you get through the introduction, to help you write the introduction. Remember, it's just laid out for you step by step. So last class we talked about academic honesty. You understand how you're going to be graded. Here are some key terms for experimentation if you need help. Also, girls, in your IB textbook, you have a section dedicated to the internal assessment, which is always a good reference for you to look through as we are writing this paper. But most of what's in the textbook is also in this cookbook for you. So let's get down to the introduction. Everybody has read through your report, and you kind of understand what Anderson was trying to accomplish with the schema theory. And for the people who have Shepherd, hopefully you have a little bit of a better idea on memory recall and what we would call the modality theory or the modality effect, which is really, girls, how well somebody can remember something. The modality effect is just the likelihood for items to be recalled correctly. That's it. Or what we like to call recall. So everybody's introduction, and for every piece that you write in the internal assessment for me, it has to be Arial font, size 11. Everything has to be doubled spaced, and you have to have numbered pages. Obviously, you don't have to really number your pages now, but it might be good to go ahead and start numbering them as we go. From here on out, when I ask you to turn in pieces of your internal assessment, it is totally okay if you want to go ahead and just start adding the individual pieces onto your introduction. I will pass over the introduction and grade your next piece. Or if you would like to write them in separate documents and then copy and paste them together, that's fine as well. However you want to do it, that's okay with me. So your introduction, girls, is going to be worth 6 points of your grade. And this is really where you are laying out the experiment that you will be replicating. So you are either going to be explaining Anderson or Shepherd's experiment in this section. And you are going to explain it exactly how I've taught you to explain all studies. You're going to list the aim, the method, the participants, the strengths, findings, and the limitations. So I do want you to pay attention to what would get you the most marks in this section. When I go and grade you, I'm specifically looking to make sure that you say And P.S., if you have a lazy grader, remember, it is really good just to say the aim of the investigation done by Anderson was, or done by Shepard was, conducted by Shepard, however you want to say it. I need to know what they're looking for. The theory and the model is described, and you can link it to the experiment. And you will be giving me the independent variables in your experiment and the dependent variables, as well as your hypothesis, or technically Anderson and Shepard's hypothesis, what they're looking for. Okay, a null hypothesis, girls, just to go back and reiterate, is if your experiment doesn't work out and does not go the way you thought it would go, your research hypothesis is the correct hypothesis. So you have to explain what both of those would look like in this section. So let's get to the steps themselves. I take you through exactly how I want you to lay out your paper. You may not change this up. Once again, you may not change how this paper is written. It's a scientific paper. It has to flow exactly how I tell you to flow. So the first sentence and second sentence, we've already talked about this, will be the definition of your theory, and then also what we're looking at. We are conducting an experiment in the cognitive level of analysis, and we are focusing on memory. I need a definition of memory and then also your theory. Anderson, you're giving me a definition of schema theory. Shepard, you are giving me a definition of modality effect or memory recall, however you want to phrase it. You can get a definition from any source, your textbook. I've got the Myers textbook listed and cited already for you in sources. You can use my Myers textbook. It's right by my desk on the blue cabinet if you would like. You do have to cite your source in the introduction. You will put the author's last name and the page number of your definition in parentheses. That's it. That's APA. Next, you're going to outline the study. Here we go. State the aim. The aim of the experiment by blah, 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 blah. You're just writing out in paragraph form what you have already done for me and what you submitted or should have submitted to Schoology. So that's your next paragraph, outlining what you've already done. Oopsie poo. Good Lord. Let's see. There we go. And then the next paragraph, you are going to state what your aim is when you run your experiment. P.S. girls, your aim should be the same as Anderson or Shepard's. You are just simply rewriting that aim, but you're saying my aim is to blah, 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 blah. I also need you to include in that your experiment is only going to be a partial replication of Anderson or Shepard's, because we obviously don't have the same type of participants. You are not going to use as many things that they did. It's just a partial. You have to say that. And then you also have to say that you're making modifications to your study. Okay. I do want to know what the null hypothesis is and the research hypothesis. The null hypothesis will be if your experiment doesn't work out. There's no relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. Your research hypothesis is just your predicted outcome, and you have to explain what the independent variable is that you're using and the dependent variables you are. So like if you have shepherd, your independent variables are going to be those words, sentences, or pictures. And the dependent variable is going to be the amount of material that people can remember. For Anderson, the independent variable is going to be the type of schema you give people, whether they're a burglar, or a house buyer, or they have no schema. And then the dependent variable obviously is going to be the information that they can recall from your story. So that's all that you are really having to do in your introduction. You need to pay attention to spelling and grammar. But other than that, girls, once you have this typed out, I want you to read it about 3 times before you submit it. But that's all I'm having you do today. And then next class, we will start our chapter on the cognitive level of analysis on memory and learning. Yay! So that's it. If you have any questions, please email me and I will respond to you. But other than that, girls, you are good to go. Just remember, you cannot talk during this process.